This lesson is about homeostasis and the three main parts of homeostasis. Now, when we're talking about a negative feedback system for almost every part of the body and how it controls its parts. So, I have three main parts. I have the control center. I also have the receptors and the effectors. Okay, when I come to the control center, think about a mechanism such as shown over on the left side about a thermostat. The control center is actually the thermostat itself. It has a set point in there that tells it I have to react to a certain temperature level. Then we have the receptor, and the receptor constantly monitors the environment. So that would be the thermometer. Then we have the effector. The effector brings about a change. So depending on if it's too hot or too cold, you're talking about an air conditioning unit or a furnace if you're talking about a mechanical device. In a human device, what you're talking about is a nervous control center, generally in the brain or basic area that constantly monitors the body's environment. Temperature happens to be set in the hypothalamus of the brain. I have receptors on my skin and in the visceral or the organ area that constantly monitors temperature. These are my receptors, and they constantly send messages to the control center. When my temperature reaches a point that the control center sets as a set point, and I have to bring about a change, I'm going to use the effectors to do this change. Effectors in this case are blood vessels and muscles that make me shiver. That also includes the sweat glands too. Okay, first let's go ahead and look at the mechanical way that we can control temperature through a thermostat, which is our control center. I set that at a set point of my choosing, like let's say 76. If the temperature gets too high, the thermometer, which is the receptor, is going to go and send a message to the effector, and that's going to lower the temperature by turning on the air conditioner. Remember, this left side is the one that we're looking at right now, okay? Now, if the temperature gets too hot, what I have to do, in other words, is I have to go in, if it gets too cold, I have to go in, and now I have to turn on the heater. Again, the thermometer is constantly monitoring it, sending a message to the thermostat. When I hit my low temperature, it's going to cut on the furnace. That's how this is maintained. Over on this side, which is the right-hand side, I have it set up for the body, okay? So here, my receptors are on the surface of my skin or near the internal organs, constantly monitoring temperature. If it goes too high, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a message to the hypothalamus right here, and it's going to say, okay, I have to do something about it to change the temperature, so I have to bring in the effectors, and the effectors are going to make the blood vessels dilate, and sweat glands are going to start sweating so that I can lose heat through sweating. Now, on the reverse side, if my body temperature goes too low, again, sensors or the receptors send it to the control center, again in the hypothalamus, and that's going to do two things. Number one, my blood vessels are going to constrict so that I maintain the blood volume to my organs, and then the effectors are going to make me shiver, which uses energy, or I should say expels energy in the form of heat and heats up my body. So those are two ways I can combat getting too cold. I'm not sure if I said it or not, but also when I get hot, the blood vessels dilate. I think I did say that. And that allows heat to come to the surface of the body and be dissipated by the sweating. So those are two ways that negative feedback systems work in our body. A negative feedback system always cuts off the initial response. If I'm too cold, I warm up. Cuts off the homeostatic control when my temperature resets. And it's vice versa on the other hand. Okay, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.